OMG Girlz. How are y'all?
We're good. How you doing?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm good. Y'all look cute. Y'all grown.
Yeah, thank you. You look good, baby.
You got your color on.
Yeah,
I told you I had to represent for the OMG Girlz. Like, it's not right to not come with some color. Okay. So, OMG Girlz, officially Misguided, right? Tell me who even came up with that name.
So, okay. So when we first started, we were, when it was 4 of us, when it was Lourdes and Reginae in the group,
Right.
we were all in the studio and we were just thinking of names. We're like, all right, like, what should we call ourselves? So then we threw out like LOL, and then, we had did like the OMG thing. We was like, okay, OMG sounds good. Like, people use that a lot. And so that's really where we got it from, like from the, just from the tech stuff. So we was like, all right, this is it. And then from there, it developed.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say, as we got older, then we made it mean something.
Right.
And we're like, we're older. We want it to be a little more, and I don't even know how. Somehow came up with Officially Misguided.
Right.
I feel like it was like a group effort thing.
Yeah.
And we was like, that's the one.
And that's Miss with MISS. That means ladies who are guided. So, because we want to be those positive role models for females individually and as a group. So we chose that way to be that way.
Yeah.
I like how y'all reclaimed Misguided. Like, no, we're gonna put our own spin to it. I love it. And then, are y'all best friends?
I would
definitely. We not just best friends.
Yeah, I feel like we're really
sisters.
I feel like we're really sisters, but the thing with us, and I feel like what's so cool about our dynamic is the fact that we've been able to maintain a real friendship throughout us being a group, us not being a group. And I think that's like so rare. People look at girl groups and they're like, oh, it has to be something wrong. They had to have broken up because it was some type of turmoil or something like that. And really with us, like, I feel like we've been able to maintain a real genuine friendship in the industry. And I feel like, it's actually kind of commendable to see, because a lot of girl groups, they be sitting down, they be like, I don't like her and she did
Right.
this and da-da-da. But we're real cool. Like, I feel like we're best friends, but we're also sisters, and we did grow up together. We were on the road a lot for our pivotal years. So I definitely think that, we're sisters. Like, it's more than a best friend thing.
We're family, basically.
Yeah.
Family.
I love it. So we were talking a little bit about the colors, a little bit about the flair that y'all got. So y'all are like punk mixed with rap, mixed with hip hop, mixed with pop. Like, y'all just conquered every genre. So tell me about the colors. Tell me why, like, y'all's style, y'all's flair. Who came up with that? The hair?
I would say that our style started from the beginning. That was always our biggest thing. I feel like everybody was into their own things, even from the beginning, when we just like, your thing is going to be bows, your thing is going to be hats. Like, we just always was like, our style, everybody's going to give something. So I think just as we grew older, we played with it. And I feel like our hairstyles and everything was like group effort. Our moms, our stylists, our hairstylists. I mean, everybody was a part. It was always like a family effort type thing going on in our circles. So I would say we collectively all came up with our looks every time.
For sure.
That's good.
So what was y'all's favorite look?
I feel like for real, I loved everyone's look on the All Around the World tour. I felt like that our hair, like, I literally remember us being on the road and we flew out hairstylists and everything. Like, we were like, we're gonna fly them out, we're gonna do these new looks. Like, everybody was wanting something different, I feel, at the time, but it's like we were having so much. So we flew like our hairstylists there, and the hair, they colored it. I just feel like that was right there, our look period, but just our hair at that moment, it was so like, now you see a lot of girls and they're wearing like the 38-inch weaves and the 40-inch weaves, but we really were doing that at like 15, 16. And our choreographer at the time, Sean Bankhead, he was like, no, we got to go longer, we got to go more color, we got to go, so it just started this whole big thing. And I feel like our influence is still just so relevant even in today's time, and I still feel like you see our influence in a lot of what's happening right now.
Very grateful.
I love that. Anybody else got some looks that's like, that's it?
You want to go ahead? Go ahead.
Mine is definitely All Around the World. So to be exact, which one? The white one.
Okay.
Because one thing about us as a group, I knew that we always like to dress cute. but we like to be comfy. You will see that in our meet and greets. We would have on those baggy sweats, and let me tell you why. Because we want to be cute and comfy. So we were able to do that on stage, and it looked good. And that white with our colors, with just the flow, and then it was just everything with performing too, like dancing, and it's comfortable, cute. Yeah. So the white, that's mine.
I would say one of my favorites. I was looking, one of our fan pages sent us all of our 106 and Park looks. Some of them were not good. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Like we dropped the ball on that one, but it was one I was like, I can't remember. I had to see them all. I think I just didn't like one of my looks, and I was like,
was it the camo?
No, the camo was one of my favorites. Okay, everybody looked good with the camo.
I think it's
one of them was too like, what are y'all putting together? I don't know.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I know. Like I think the one you like is the last one.
I think it was.
It is, and you know who was doing that one? Wasn't that Misa too?
That was Sean.
You had like red and white on.
Sean
okay, one of those. Oh, when I had
everybody,
and the bandana. Okay, that was one of my favorites.
It seemed like y'all like all y'all looks. Okay.
Anyways,
I mean, they were all iconic.
It was
that part.
Our look was so important to our brand. I cannot stress enough like how big of a deal that really was for us. Like I think we did it without trying. I don't think that we set out with, we're gonna dye our hair and then all these girls gonna be dyeing their hair this color or these colors or doing whatever. But I feel like we set the tone for like young Black girls to just want to be themselves. Like just to, if you want to dye your hair purple, pink, blue, red, green, whatever you want to do. Like I feel like we made that, we made everyone comfortable with doing that. I remember us first doing it like media takeout and everybody was taking us out. How could their moms let them do that? And that's so ghetto and da-da-da-da-da. And now, like when we first did all of the color, like our whole head.
Right.
And it's like now just to see where the culture has gone and evolved into, it's really just a beautiful thing. Because I feel like Black girls and Black women should be able to be themselves. And I think that was really a key message that we had, was just girls should just be able to be who they are.
For sure.
I love that you said that, because it's true. And then you guys really like recognize individuality too. Y'all were a group, but y'all still had your own flair. Y'all still had your own look. You made it intentional to look differently, each of you, I really like that. But you talking about tour, you know what I mean? So what was tour like? Your first tour, what was it like?
Oh, baby. Let's get into it.
You don't want to see us. We thought we was the please not say. Well, I'm sorry, not we thought. We knew we were the because we came with a show. We had been rehearsing,
shout out to Sean
months before. Yeah, Sean had us not playing no games, so we always knew like we were the school we went on to.
Right.
Like, and on top of that, we were young females. You ready? Me too. Okay. Yeah. So.
I love y'all's relationship. I do.
They in the same way they're here for it. That's what they want. They're gonna get all right. So what I was saying is, tour as young females who were living out their dreams and actually seeing it come to life. We were also not like just turned up. We were very grateful and very at a place of gratitude. Because even while we were on tour, it was a thing called the town hall meetings, where each person on tour would talk about advice or positive things they want to tell the youth. So not just meeting greets we were doing, not just the music is showing up and showing out, but we had these town hall meetings where we were able to meet college students, young girls, and one-on-one to be able to answer questions that they had to ask, to give advice at an open place. And I think that was very important of tour to do, because you've seen the artists on stage, but to actually have a one-on-one like encounter about advice and stuff like that, that's important too, to see that person in that way.
I just brought a memory up.
That was like honestly though, I think what was really cool, and especially about our first tour, is that we actually got to really just connect with everybody in that era, in that time.
Y'all had everybody on y'all's tour, okay?
Yes, like just us, Mindless, Diggy, Jacob, and these were friends that we were able to make then and still even to this day. Like we all don't talk every day or every few weeks or months or whatever, but it's always love when we see one another. And I feel like just what we all have in common about that time was just, we was young, we was just trying to get it. That first tour, we was having fun, all of us. We on the road, we going to eat, we going to different places.
Right.
Like every time we went to a new place, we always was doing stuff.
You know how you know your group of friends from middle school and high school? You're like, oh, these my people. We go to school every day. That's how we feel with people we were on tour with. So anytime we see each other, it's like, oh, like my childhood friend. We lived out our childhood together.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, so what was your least favorite thing about tour?
I got some.
Okay.
It ain't even bad. It's just maybe sometimes we would want to experience the city a little bit more.
Got it.
When we go there, we literally go there to do the show, meet and greets, and those are the most amazing things. On top of that, we would want to also see and experience the actual city we were in.
Right.
And so we would fit in where we could, like maybe go to a store, maybe just walk down the street to a coffee shop just to see the energy or the ambiance of it.
Got it.
I was maybe more experienced in the city, but gratefully so, we had to move to the next one. So we was okay with that because we had a good experience either way it went. Even if we didn't get to experience it a lot, us being on stage and having those meet and greets and meeting those people one-on-one and meet and greets, and also being on stage and seeing their energy, we got to experience the city in that way too.
And I think too, definitely just being away from our families and being away from home, like it, you know, just we were still in high school at that point, so like we missed a lot of the proms with our class and the grad, like it just certain things, you know, like other teenagers could go out on a weekend with their friends and go to a party and do that thing, whereas with us on the weekends we booked out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all throughout the week we doing stuff, and then on the weekend we back to it. So you know, it was just I think like our friends and our family and just like missing them, I think that was probably like the worst part about it.
That's it right there. That's the answer. What did I say?
I was going to say being away from your family, and I used to always complain about living out of a suitcase. That was like not my thing.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to keep living out of a suitcase. Also, back to what Beja said, I would say something that I always hate that we didn't get to do is walk with our class, which we tried really hard, but they were like, no, you know, they didn't allow us to walk with our class.
Why?
Me either.
I feel like they was hating on us.
I thought you were saying that because y'all didn't get to go to graduation. You're saying y'all could have went, they just didn't want you to.
Exactly.
Yeah, they didn't want us to. And we were caught up with our class, so we really could have just, you know, walked with our class. Like we had been doing our work on the road, but they were just like, no, it's dead. Y'all gonna have to. We had to make our own graduation.
We had like tutors and everything. Like we really were all making the collective effort to really work hard and, you know, walk with our class.
Right.
And I just feel like they hated on us. They didn't really.
So they let y'all graduate, but y'all couldn't walk.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, I have to cherry on top with that because I went to a separate school in a different city and states, and they did the same thing to me. So I don't know what the energy was against the OMG girls about walking.
I think it was the hair.
That's cute. I like that. Because my high school.
I know you can't do nothing about it now, but geez, I'm a little mad.
Whatever the reason was, blessings to everybody.
Facts.
Amen. And then you guys were the only girl group on tour with all males. What was that like? Was the pressure on?
Girl, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody know. I'm sure the people in the comments know too. If you was there, you had to be there to know. But those girls used to be trying to drag us about these boys. They'd be like, "Girl, Princeton is my man." Like, what? Girl, relax. Like, I promise you, all of these boys is like brothers to us. Like, it's like we were friends. We were. I mean, well, we ain't gonna say.
We ain't
gonna say that. But all we gonna say is that, you know, it was. I feel like those girls, man, they just used to be on us. Like they used to just be on us. Like it was
crazy.
For sure. But you know, I definitely feel like us being the only girls, we were super targets for other young girls on social media who were like, okay, well, I like this boy and da-da-da. Like, I don't think any of us have ever experienced that type of scrutiny at that magnitude. It was every day.
Yeah, and I'm like, every show we were prepared. Like, some girls are trying to fight us. Like every show.
Stop. No, you lying. No.
They was like, when y'all get here, like y'all are getting y'all. Like prepare.
We pulled the girl backstage and everything.
You know, we.
One of our internet.
Let's not get.
We used to get into it. Well, for one, Beja used to always be on social media. She was like the social media head, so she didn't miss anything. Yeah. So we was basically like, oh, it's somebody here. She's talking about she gonna do this and that. We were like, oh, okay, we bring her backstage. Oh, what you got to say? Like we was always with
got it.
On top of that, the encounter with also guys, that was one part. But it was such a good balance in a way. I know we were the only girls.
Right. But y'all represented for the girls.
We represented, and so there were ones too that a lot of them understood why we were there, and they really appreciated us there because they would show up looking just like us. Sometimes a little, maybe give props. They might look exactly, if not better, like because they did it so creatively in their own ways to see like the seeds that we planted. And then like it's a grow. That's what it was. You look out in the crowd and we see OMG everywhere without us even being there. That is powerful. Because we were like, yo, it's a whole thing. And girls go to guys, okay? They like guys, they think they're cute. But for them to actually see us as women and they see us enough to be like us, that was powerful. It was real cool.
Yeah, for sure.
That's super dope. And then y'all's choreography. Who did it? Who was y'all's choreographer?
Sean Bankhead, definitely. He was our choreographer at the time. I would also go to say that he was creative direction as well. A lot of people know him now for working with Normani and Lil Nas X. He's done stuff with everybody.
Yeah, shout out to him because y'all keep shouting him out, okay?
Sean Bankhead, everything to us.
He's like our brother.
He's our brother. He groomed us into the artists. I mean, to our the performers, artists that we are today. Like Sean just helped us so much.
Shout out to Bankhead University. I call it that because he has his own clothing line, Bankhead. His last name and then a play on words. You know, Atlanta has Bankhead.
Right.
This man has really like done his job and what he did for us and more. Not out just business. He was like a big brother to us. So even when we were growing as adolescents and going into a young adult, he would give us advice or let us talk. Like it was just Sean Bankhead is really a go-to amazing person. Yeah. And on top of that, he would bring people in at times to help us, and we can go down the list of names.
Right.
But he would do whatever it needed to be done for us to make sure we look the best we needed to be.
Absolutely.
So it seems like it was a blessing to have somebody in y'all's corner. I mean, besides your family, but have someone that just had y'all's back and was there for you and wasn't, had your best interests at heart.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Listen, we probably overstayed our welcome with Sean. We used to come over his house every day, like, we after rehearsal, we come to your house. Like we love Sean Sean's our brother. So
yeah, he know what it is. Piece of cheese. You know what that means.
Okay.
Y'all know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fact.
Well, you don't remember when we used to go to the house and when I'm hungry, what I gotta get? Okay.
Yeah. I it's just we're so blessed to have been able to do what we did so young and to be able to interact and be around all of our peers and just all the people who developed us. I mean, it really was a blessing. What we learned on the road and just throughout being in the group, I mean, you can't pay for that type of mentorship. I always say, we were mentored by the best, you know what I mean? Best of the best. Yeah. And, it was just a blessing for us to be able to have that, you know what I mean? Especially as young women.
I love that. And you guys had y'all's first interview, right? And tell me what that was like when you had your first interview. I mean, you guys are grown now, but when you're first, were you nervous?
You talking about our first interview?
Your very first interview as a group.
I'll never remember that.
Yeah, I don't even know if we really remember that.
Go ahead, Brie. I was just gonna say we had a lot of crazy interview moments. I could say we had to have some media training.
I'm grateful.
We went through a lot of phases in our interview world. I would say I used to be like the worst interviewer, and my ladies know, like I would always look to them to answer all the questions. And we just had different phases. I can't remember the first one. I know there's one. I fell asleep. They just fell asleep in their interview before.
Sorry. Wait, how? Wait, what? I didn't see this one.
Okay, we had an interview. Okay, so we used to do
say what time it was though.
So we used to do the morning news stations. We would do
promo tour.
Yeah, we were on a promo tour. So we were promoting our single at the time, and so we basically had us on every news station everywhere performing this early in the morning, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So when you're doing the news, you have to be there at 4 or 5 o'clock, dressed, ready to go. We had an interview with this girl, and I don't know what we had did the night before, but I was just tired, man, and it was like, it was so cold in there. And I feel like at that point of the promo tour, we were just ready to get home, like it was just like, we had been on the road for literally like almost 2 months. So, I was just kind of like sitting there and I'm listening to them answer the questions. I'm just like, ooh, and I just woke up. And so it was just kind of crazy, but our media coach definitely like got on me about that.
Clearly, because y'all doing great now, so they did their job.
Yeah,
shout out to her.
We can definitely like go to the YouTube and like pinpoint all of our weird times in our interviews.
Yeah.
One time this guy breath was stinking really.
I knew you were gonna say.
I was standing by him and I was like not looking.
Yeah.
It was an interviewer, or it was just someone that was there.
And he's right here. You like, so and the answers like you're answering, even though he's right here talking. She would turn like, so yeah, we did this, and I was like, oh,
it had some times.
I was praying for him.
Wow. That's awkward.
Yeah, it's real bad.
If he's saying this, sorry.
He don't know who he is.
We know, but
we know. Do you know?
Y'all dropping a name or?
There go the shade.
I'm telling you, she wants to be
There go the shade.
Listen, I'm just asking.
We know.
Yeah, I don't even think
no, it's okay. I understand.
Look at she like, oh no, for real.
So y'all are like avid Beehive members, right? Like y'all, like period. You know, y'all helped create that Instagram name. So I just want to know, when B and Lady Gaga and like all these people just started talking about y'all and shouting y'all out, like what was that like? What was it like when you first saw it?
Amazing.
With Beyonce, that was unexpected. I feel like with Lady Gaga, us and Lady Gaga, we had the same. Yeah, we had just met her. We had the same A&R when we were at our label. So we kind of like were in a familiar circle. We had met her, and then like after she met us, like our A&R at the time had just told us, he was like, this girl is like obsessed with y'all. She loves my hair. She just loves y'all. And then she had made this tweet to like all of her fans, like we didn't ask her. He didn't ask her. She literally made this tweet because she just was such a fan. Like she, not a fan, but she really was just like, I love these girls. I can't get enough. Right. And then, with the Beyonce thing, we're thinking that we just going to LA, just doing a interview. Like we like, oh, she's a baddie. Cause really, and I want to say this here first, the OMG Girlz, we brought baddie to the forefront. Like it's no doubt about it. At that point, Beyonce said it herself. She wrote us a letter. Like she sent it to us. Her Instagram name was Baddie B because that's what we was calling her. And I just feel like with Beyonce was totally unexpected, but I know that all of us were like shook. We were like the queen, like
come on.
Like I know somebody ran around the house.
Wait, but pause, because I remember the exact moment when we found out about it. Let's get into it. And about the word baddie, because that's important. We want to like definitely salute everybody that are baddies. We're glad y'all are baddies because
y'all baddies.
Thank you. And then if you're a baddie, going in. Okay, period. So on top of that, shout out to us being us and for us to encounter the word baddie from Sean Bankhead. Yeah.
Okay.
Because he had his own thing of a group. You can go look on YouTube, what YouTube allows to stay on, the greatness that he makes. Yeah. It's a thing called the baddies. Okay. So these dancers that are amazing are baddies. And on top of that, a lot of women are the baddies, and then we can't even be the baddies. And then we put the song out there to really make it baddie. Yeah. So on top of that, I remember we was at the cabin, right? And we got the call, and we got the picture of the letter she sent to our manager. Yeah, exactly that. Speechless. Yeah. Because that's somebody in the industry you look towards and that does amazing things and has done amazing things. And everybody in some part of life, have seen her videos and be like, ooh, okay. So for her to actually reach out and say what she said to us, because she could have just made it her name and not said nothing, but she did. Yeah. So and don't play with Beyonce. Give very much she pay attention. Right. Yeah. So shout out to Beyonce. We love you and we thank you.
Okay. I was gonna say it's the queen. She had handwritten us a letter. Yeah. Handwritten us a letter. Yeah. We were absolutely shocked. Like how? I mean, it's everything. Yeah. It's everything. It's Beyonce. It's Beyonce.
And it's prayers.
And she could have easily just sent a text. She
wrote a letter.
Yeah. And a marker, and she got us. She said, "OMG Girlz."
Right. And then she signed it like Baddie B or something like that.
Yes. You paid attention because
I pay attention.
On top of that, it's a fair answer too, because me growing up, I'm sure y'all too, there's been people in the industry you want to meet and people you want to work with. So to even be noticed by somebody, it was actually in a way too an answer to prayer, like to actually see your stuff come to life. Right. That make you realize God is great and good, and He is real. Yeah. And there's so many more blessings to get, and that to be one of them, to come to play for all three of us, who are so willing and working hard towards what they believe in. Yeah. Right. It takes very much great love and gratitude from us to be seen, us doing what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And to be noticed by somebody of that caliber in the industry.
So when we're talking about artists that you want to work with, like, who are y'all's musical influences?
Okay. There's so many.
Yeah. I mean, I think collectively a big influence for us at that time was definitely TLC. Just unapologetically being yourself and wearing whatever you want to wear. Like, you know, with them, it was like the condoms. They had the condoms in their clothes and in their hair, on their glasses. And, you know, they were just setting that trend, the baggy clothes, all of that. And I think for us, you know, when we actually started to kind of do our own trend with our clothes, with the tutus, with the knee-high Converse and the whole nine, like, I don't think that we were ever really thinking like, okay, like we want to be different like TLC. Once we really got into TLC, like as the three of us, we like, oh, okay, like this is kind of like, this is really our blueprint a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we weren't really, you know, of course none of us were really living like when they were in their prime, right? But it's like for us to be able to go back and have that, just like that skeleton, you know what I mean? That blueprint of what it looks like to just be a young Black girl, young Black girls, young Black friends, and be yourself, make your own music. They definitely were a big influence for us as a group. I mean, you know, Destiny's Child too, of course, but just in terms of our style, our influence, and
the different dynamics.
Exactly. The because I feel like
because the rapper and
like,
it was just
like
almost
it was just that that like you said, like Reset, just that dynamic, just their style, who they were, what they brought to gain the legacy that they left. I feel like, I mean, I know that we never like put out an album or anything, but I feel like, you know, the legacy that we left behind, you know what I mean? It's undeniable.
I mean, if you want to go ahead and let's skip to the question about the album then, okay? Like, what happened? Y'all said y'all was releasing it. Like, what, is it coming? Is it gonna drop?
I love Is It Coming?
Shout out to Rihanna, because she would know what to say in this instance.